if you want me to be totally honest. We need to kill all the lawyers. But I'm saying that facetiously. It's going to be in the Sun, or what are you, the Daily Herald? But anyway, look, it takes longer than we would all like, and they move slower, and they use big words that we don't understand sometimes. But come on, of course it's wrong what they're doing. They're just gaslighting us with their behavior. They are breaking the law, and they should be brought to justice. All these paid agitators, and I don't know who it is, if it's Soros or who it is, it doesn't even matter. We get the source of the money, we put them in jail. We get these agitators, we put them in jail. The people who've given me death threats in person, because I go to those places, we put them in jail. And once we start putting these people in jail who've got massive TDS, that's all it really is, Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to slow down because they're going to be in prison, and people don't want to be in prison. When there's consequences, the behavior changes. Thank you.
So Renee would be similar to the millions of other mothers who came home safely that evening to their children if she would not have chosen to threaten a federal law enforcement officer. The follow-up to that is to say that many of these agitators and protesters are there because they're being paid. And Mark mentioned that. One of the ways we can solve this is to make that a crime. We can protest. Protesting, there's no, our First Amendment allows us to protest, but we have to protest within the boundaries of the law. And protesting does not mean threatening and abusing other people. And common decency has to prevail. And what we can do to prevent people from behaving like that is to stop allowing them to be paid, because guess what? They have to go get a job. And if they got a job, they wouldn't have the time to be out protesting. And with that said, making the funding of these protests illegal and holding them accountable, holding the people accountable who are threatening and abusing. The rule of law has got to stand, and if the rule of law stands, we will see law and order in our country.
All right, we have come to the portion of the evening where you two are going to ask each other a question. The question is 30 seconds. You have a minute to respond, and we're going to flip to see who goes first. And it is tails. I know. Yeah, would you like to ask the question first or answer? Okay.
Okay, we worked this out before.
Please mind the clock, and people, please try and hold your comments.
Okay, so let's go back to, I know, I hope it doesn't make you mad, because if you win somehow, I'm going to support you, I really am. And I hope you would say the same about me. We've got to come together to support each other. We've got to flip this district. But, you know, we have a difference. You said you hired all these people in India, and you love them and all that. It's great. But, I mean, it's pretty black and white. You hired Indians in India to do work for your company. Am I missing something? What am I not? Help me understand how that isn't hiring foreign workers.
Yeah. We created jobs in the U.S. through the use of foreign resources. No different than you buying and selling foreign energy, foreign power, foreign products. I'm sure that the car that you drive has foreign materials in it. None of those Every single thing that we have on, the clothing you're wearing, the shoes that you have, the United States has outsourced so much of the resources that we have. And so utilizing the resources that exist globally is certainly a methodology for helping build America. And that is what we did. That is how we grew our company exponentially over the decades that we did it. And that is how Davis Ware helped 3,500 U.S. companies, blue-collar trades, create, of those 3,500, over 1,000 created first-generation wealth during our tenure. And that, my friend, is how we created American jobs.
Mumbai is not America. If you hire someone
Okay,
who
Mark.
lied, that's not American.
That's not
What I want to know is, as a freshman in Congress, and what I want to hear is specifically, what's the first thing, I'm sure you put some thought to this since you've been a candidate for multiple years, what's the first thing that you would do as a freshman congressman? What's the first bill that you'll put forward? What's the committee that you want to sit on? How are you thinking about your first 90 days and how you're going to make an impact in Congress?
Well, that's a nice question, thank you. I think a lot about that, and I actually talk to people that are freshman congressmen about that, because it's frustrating when you're just getting started. But obviously, being from the energy industry and also being a technology entrepreneur myself, I would want to serve on those two committees, technology and, I had a hedge fund. I don't talk about myself a lot, but I had a fairly large hedge fund. Well, did I tell you that I ran a large hedge fund? You can laugh all you want. Anyway, it's called the .com Fund, and we were tech innovators. So I've sat on boards of technology companies, created lots of jobs in America.
Yeah.
And there are many things to do in terms of reducing regulations and also providing incentives like we've talked about before in energy, to get at the oil, to get at the gas, and more importantly, to bring it to the power plants, to bring it to consumers, so our electric bills don't have to go through the roof. It's something I know a whole lot about, and I plan to get to work on that right away. Okay, let's go back and forth, right? So again, I know, it's a partisan thing here, but look, I have also hired hundreds of people, even thousands of people over the years, and I just think it would be nice to commit, even if I'm creating American jobs here, not to hire anybody outside of the country, period. I'm sorry, that's how I feel. So I want to give you another opportunity to explain to me how you're creating American jobs by paying salaries to people in India. Because maybe I'm dense, I don't understand it. You hired Indian workers to work for your company, right? So I never did that, that's the question. I know you don't like it, okay, but that's the question.
He's allowed to ask any question he wants. He's allowed to.
Yeah, I can.
Yes, he is allowed, he can ask the same question. What is the schedule? He can ask whatever he wants. Can you answer, please? You have 1 minute.
Yeah, absolutely. So Mark, I guess you asked the same question, so I'm going to answer the same answer, which is based in truth and based in fact, which is American jobs are created by using resources outside of the US, and that is true. We import raw materials everywhere, in every industry, and you of all people would know that because we've been importing energy for the last 4 years. So the energy you are selling foreign products. We are not selling foreign products, we are using foreign resources to build American-built products. And our American-built products built thousands of jobs and created many companies with multi-generational American wealth.
All right, Jennifer Davis, you have the next question for Mark.
So Mark, one of the questions that I have, I've heard you speak repetitively about losing the seat by 2%. And so I wanted to go fact check that, because when I looked at the statistics on the last election, Raja got 172,000 votes, and you got 130,000 votes. And while I didn't go to school for math, that is not 2%. And in fact, he won 57% of the vote, you won 42%, and additionally, you underperformed Trump by 2%, so people stopped voting down ballot. So what I would like to understand is, when we look at this district and we look at this opportunity, how are you going to change the outcomes differently than the last time that you ran for office?
So this is a great question, but you checked the math, but you didn't check your ears. Because what I said is Donald Trump lost by 2%. So Donald Trump lost by a small margin, and they don't report it the way that you would normally think. You can look it up, because we've done the math, and so has the Trump team actually has done the math.
Yeah.
But they report it by county, and you have to go precinct by precinct. So that is at the top of the ticket. Now, I was below. I'm not gonna ask you, maybe I'll ask you the next question, is why did I underperformed Trump. Like I said, I got 40% more votes than anybody got who ran in my position before me. I've only run once, by the way. I'm not a multiple candidate. But anyway, so I got all those votes. How is it that happened? Well, Raja is first of all, he spent all this money. He's got 10 years name ID. But more important than that is maybe we have some people in the audience that will affirm this, is they're Hindu Indians and they love Raja, and they're Republicans, and they would vote Republican, but they still would vote for Raja, who's a Democrat. And I'm sorry, but that's borne out in the numbers, and I can point you to a lot of data that shows that, so that's the answer to your question. Okay, so now,
Next question, you ask the
Right.
next question.
Okay, so while we're talking about electioneering, because electioneering is very important to me, because, why is it that we underperform so much in the state of Illinois and Republicans can't win a thing? And it is true that our party, is not helping so much, and we have what I call, what is his name, Richard Irvin Democrats, or Adam Kinzinger Democrats. And you have chosen to have running your campaign, Blake and Joan Lasson there, who's the Illinois 9th District Central Committee person, to run your whole campaign. And they actually work for Richard Irvin, my goodness. They actually got salaries, right, Blake, from Richard Irvin. So you've got Richard Irvin Democrats running your campaign. I'm quite different. People ask me all the time, what's with that?
When I looked at running a campaign, I looked at data-driven, results-focused, and improving candidate quality. And so each one of those things take into account the opportunity to bring in a fresh set of eyes and a fresh opportunity. Regardless of what campaigns previous people worked on, this is my campaign. This is the campaign that I am running, and we are running a strategic, data-driven, win-focused by actual numbers. And by the way, Trump won, Harris won 55% of the vote, Trump won 44%. So again, the math isn't quite right. Regardless, when we look at winning this district will be won by about 2,000 votes. And so I believe that if we are going to flip this seat from blue to red, we have to upgrade the candidate quality and have a relatable candidate who can win the votes in the Democrats.
Okay, Jennifer Davis, you ask the question to Mark.
She's shaking.
I'm thinking, actually. Don't you worry.
Still thinking more. Thinking more.
What do you think we are lacking in the there's so many options here to pick from that there's so many weaknesses I could point out, but I think the one that I want to do is I'd like you to explain to me, what do you think is lacking in our political party?
In our Republican
political party.
So it's interesting you asked me that.
Joan is lacking.
Like we're talking about Richard Irvin. Do you know he spent $50 million and he got 16% of the vote? He came in third place in the primary. That's what's lacking in our political party. We are not getting behind true conservatives. We're being influenced by people in the party who are part of this Richard Irvin, Adam Kinzinger, TDS. They hate Trump. They don't like guns. They're maybe pro-choice, whatever. I don't even care about the policies. It's the data. The data shows it doesn't work. And besides that, the principles of our party are life and the Second Amendment and the First Amendment and everything is going to and I'm for that. And the party, frankly, oftentimes is not for that. And they pretend like they are because they make money or they get little titles and they think they're cool. But the grassroots is pissed off.
Yes, we
They
are.
ruin
Yes, we are.
our chances to win.
We are.
And we want to win, so we need real candidates who tell the truth and don't play, Richard Irvin politics. Thank you.
Okay, this is the final question. We each get one more question, so ask one more question, please.
What we didn't talk about, you're gonna hate this one too, but, we talked about how you hire all these, people, foreign workers in India. And I know you guys don't like that, but how about that, I also have kids, and I raise the kids myself with my wife. And I don't hire foreign workers because you talk about this. You know, you talk about how hard it is to get them their immigration papers and this and that. I personally know that some of your critics ask me, why did you ask her about it? Why is it you hire foreign workers to come in your own house to take care of your own kids? And do you think most people can afford that when most of us have to take care of our own kids? So I give you the opportunity to explain that. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm happy to explain that because one of the things I'm going to explain is the rules that we agreed to. And one of the things that we agreed to is that we were going to stick on politics. And so I'm going to talk about the politics, not the personal attack that you seem to be. It seems to be your only mojo. So Mark, yes, I had we had au pairs come help with our kids. An au pair works 45 hours a week. And she pays a stipend while she goes to school on a J1 visitor visa, which is how I know so much about that. And so, yes, I had help raising my kids because believe it or not, 10 kids is a lot of work. It's a lot of soccer.
No wonder
It's a lot of opportunities for our family to learn cultures and bring that culture into our family. And so I'm absolutely proud of the au pairs who became part of our family. And I use our systems and our processes to allow our family to have that experience. And so regardless of what you think about childcare, that is a form of childcare and it's the form that we chose to use in our family. And it's legal and it's safe. And I will follow the rules, unlike you, and answer the questions.
Okay, last. One more. We have one final question from Jennifer to Mark.
Okay, my question will be about the committees that you want to serve on. So you talked a little bit about what the first things you're going to do in Congress, roughly. I just love to hear, what do you think is the most important committee that you can contribute to in Congress, and what's the first thing you are going to do?
You asked that question.
So unlike the
You already
golden
asked
dome
that.
thing about the technology, whatever.
The digital dome?
The digital dome, and that's nice. But what I think is most important is to bring down costs for Americans. And I can do that in the Energy Committee by bringing down the cost of electricity, of gas, of oil under our feet, of coal. How about building nuclear plants? By the federal government enabling nuclear plants to be built. There's a lot of regulation that stands in the way of getting this done, and that's why Illinois was exporting energy, and now we're importing energy, because the state of Illinois is run by a bunch of Democrats, and the government had been run by a bunch of Democrats, and we went from being energy independent to being energy dependent. I mean, even people who don't know the energy business can figure that out. But I'm in the energy business, and I understand what's going on, and know where the bodies are buried, and I know how to fix it. And have the history of doing it by running successful America First businesses, hiring Americans to run and work in business to bring down costs for all of us, and that's what we need.
We have 2 minutes for closing statements. You are going first, and you are going second. Mark Rice.
Wow, I'm looking out there. Everybody stayed. Remember I told you they'd probably leave. They'd be so bored. I just want to thank you all. Thanks, Stroh. Thank all of you moderators. Thank all of you citizens, all of you constituents, all of you future voters, because we've got to get out there and vote. One thing I didn't have the opportunity to say is I got 130,000 votes in the last election in the general. Another 30,000 votes, so 160,000 votes total, so I've got name ID. But I don't know if you understand this. In this coming general, we both agree on this. We'll have about 100,000 votes to win the race. So in other words, I got 130. All I need to do is get 100 to win and flip the seat red. So we need even less voters than before. We don't need one Democrat to switch over. So all that Richard Irvin, Adam Kinzinger stuff, it doesn't work anyway. They're not voting for us. Don't fool yourself. We need to get people who already voted for me last time. If you somehow were to win, they would have to vote for you. We've got to get them up off the couch with modern day electioneering techniques to kill the apathy. That's what we're fighting against. You and I are fighting a little bit, but we're going to be friends. We're going to be fine. But what's bad is a lot of us say my vote doesn't count. Who cares if I vote? It doesn't matter if I vote. They don't trust the election system, or they just have been losing, following the advice of the Illinois GOP, giving them their money, their time, their treasure, and seeing it all go up in flames. Well, we got a new sheriff in town. I'm here. Daddy's home. And we're going to bring it back to Illinois, and we're going to take it back just by having principled, conservative values and being a truth teller, even if they want to shut me up, even if they want to threaten me. It doesn't matter. I'm going to tell the truth, and we're going to win. And all we got to do is get even less votes than before. And I think most people can wrap their heads around that and get out there and do it. Thank you.
In India, Virginia.
So tonight you've heard my vision for Illinois' 8th Congressional District. And it's a vision that is intentional, it's data-driven, and it's always putting people over politics and parties. And so tonight I'm asking you not to just come out, but to come to the dance and be a part of the process. So as Mark said, voter apathy is what the Republican Party is lacking. And so we have a struggle in these midterms to get people out to the polls. However, for the first time in decades, we have an open seat with a real shot to turn this blue district red, bringing common sense, family-first leadership to Washington, D.C., and to deliver the changes that our communities desperately need. As a political outsider, I am the candidate who can win the general in November. I am a wife, I am a suburban mom, I am an entrepreneur, I am a business owner who has never been afraid to outwork everyone, turning grit, innovation, and hard work into our American dream. I am unapologetic about our ability to do that. The young Republicans have endorsed me in this race, and that demonstrates to us that this race is bigger than either one of us. It's about the generations, it's about our kids, it's about our grandkids. It's about giving them the same Illinois that we were given. However, the endorsement only creates real value if we win. We have to make life affordable. We have to create homeownership that's more achievable, and we have to restore hope for young families. Our state's best export no longer needs to be our children. So tonight I ask you to come dance with me, come work with me, come vote for me. We can't make this dance happen alone. Winning means everyone stepping up to the plate. It means knocking on doors. It means making call after call and sending text after text and getting your neighbors out to vote. Every conversation and every vote that we turn out puts us closer to victory. So I ask you, who are you bringing to the ballot box? Who are you bringing to the polls? How are we going to fight that voter apathy? We can go win this, and I can go win this for you. I can do it for our kids and our communities, and I can help bring back the American dream to Illinois. Let's help put America and Illinois back on the map. Thank you.
USA! USA! USA!
Well, we're almost done. I just wanted to mention a couple things. We do have some candidates in the audience, and we didn't ask candidates to sign in. But if you are a candidate, want to stand up and give us your name and what you're running for. No speeches, but at least introduce yourselves. Anybody? I know we have some. I know. Go ahead. Just shout it out.
Stand up at the end.
I'm Dave Mathis. I'm running for the 27th Senate District, being there in Arlington Heights. Grew up in Schaumburg, lived in Huntley, lived all over the world, did 23 years in the military.
Thank you, Ralph, over there.
Representative in the 24th district against Fred Crespo. He's been there since 2007. So I need everybody's help that I can get. If you have any questions for me, I'll be here still.
And I see Dr. Ray back there.
Dr. Ray, I'm running for Attorney General of the state of Illinois. It's a big state, it's not as small as these districts here. I need your help, I need your vote. We need to everybody out. I'm unopposed in the primaries and my elections November. I need your vote on March 17th, but I need your vote on November 3rd. If you believe in safe streets, strong communities, thriving businesses, with me as your Attorney General and a check on whoever is the governor, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, we need somebody who's going to stand up for common sense. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Terry, you want to say something?
Terry Gormar, Fairview Township Committeeman. I just want to say thank you for putting this together, Joe. This committee had worked together. And to the candidates, regardless of who you guys vote for in this race, I want you guys to understand one thing, because they are both great candidates. Our opponent is not the Democrats, it's apathy.
Yes.
Please go vote. Thank you.
Daniel, do you want to say something? You're a candidate.
Daniel Lee, a 30-year Cook County resident, born in Korea, immigrant, legal immigrant. Living the American dream, and now I'm running for Cook County 50th District Board Commissioner.
Yeah, Daniel. George, do you want to say something?
Thank you, Joe. Thank you for the group for being here. George Sahowski, Palatine Township Republican Organization. Listen, the most important thing I see tonight is all you folks here, all right? No matter how and what happens, you've got to turn out at the voting booth. That unity that we're stressing throughout the Republican Party has to be there. And support 100%, no matter who may be the successful candidate. We need to do that. We want to bring that to you. Thank you, Joe. Thank you all for that.
Okay,
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Soletta, and I want to commend Joe for putting on such a fine event this evening. It was really wonderful. I'm running for Wheeling Township Republican Committeeman, and I've been a 31-year resident of Arlington Heights, and I just want to continue the Republican ideals, which I heard here this evening in our township. And as everyone is saying, it is so important that everyone gets out and votes. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Go ahead.
Elizabeth Fowler.
Oh, Elizabeth Fowler, go ahead.
Yeah, so my name's Elizabeth Bauer. I am running for the 53rd House District, which is a mix of Arlington Heights, Mount Prospect, Rolling Meadows, and little bits of Schaumburg and Palatine. It's uncontested in the primary, but it's a Democratic stronghold, so it's gonna be a lot of work in the fall. Just to reiterate what I've said, we need to, as a party, get people out there, not just, obviously, educate yourself on the candidates and vote in the primary, but you need everybody, all hands on deck with all of the things that need to happen in the fall, from canvassing to just talking to your friends and neighbors and letting them know how you stand, where you stand on the candidates. We need to all work together. Thank you.
Okay, man, is anybody? Oh, go ahead.
I think Mark missed it because he was talking the whole time.
Go ahead.
I'm Cynthia Shank. I'm here to represent Tennessee, running for governor in Illinois. If anyone would like to know any information about me, please come to me. Please vote in the primary. Ask every friend, colleague, relative, get out and vote.
Okay, go ahead, real quick, please.
Yes, I'm Lori Smith. I am running for state rep in District 51. So this area, we're trying to take back the seat that we made the last
Okay.
My name is Rocio Cleveland, and I'm running the 9th Congressional District. And I'm here to defeat all the Democrats and the 3 primary opponents. What I want to create are safe borders, safe streets. I want the indoctrination of children to stop and the mutilation of children. I also want robust curriculum for all children in America. I have seen so much injustices created in the public school system, and I do not support it whatsoever.
Okay.
I'm not finished. I also want to thank Joe Hassan, who is my committee woman, because she hasn't helped me whatsoever, and she gets paid thousands of dollars.
Okay, we appreciate it. That's it. Okay, so we're going to conclude. Oh, wait, we have a candidate back there. Go ahead, please.
Mr. Moore, you are
Go-
one of the high.
Go ahead, please.
You
Yeah.
are a liberal.
Quiet, please. The lady back there.
No,
go
she
ahead.
doesn't. She hasn't done anything to help my district.
Thank you. My name is Tasi Upadike. I am the Republican candidate running for the state rep, position in 51. I'm an American First. I believe, I'm a suburban mom. I believe in us getting out to vote. And we're working very hard to stay on the ballot, and I need everybody's prayers. But Tasi Upadike, and our district is 51, which is the northwest suburbs, so Lake County and Palatine. So thank you, and thanks for your support. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. I want to thank our panelists, Odo, Gary, Amy, our timekeepers, George, and who's that guy over there, Greg? Well, some of them are board members in our organization. There's material in the back, and I want to encourage everybody to join your local Republican organization. If you like one of these candidates, volunteer in their campaign, volunteer in the campaigns of some of these other candidates. We need people to get out and support our candidates. So everybody have a great rest of the night, drive safely, and we'll see you at the next event. Oh, by the way, we're gonna have pictures up here for the